Welcome back to the studio for your month 3 and 4 update. I am so sorry that I did not get an update in last month, but if you follow me on social media, then you know that it has been absolute chaos trying to balance performances, composing, and motherhood. So I'm just doing the best that I can, but I do have some great updates for you today, and we're gonna kind of pick up where we left off with the names of the band members. I'm so excited to finally tell you. Again, if you follow on social media, you already know who the band members are, but in the rhythm section, starting with the rhythm section, we're gonna have Ilu on piano, Richie Goods on bass, and Jean Lake on the drums. Super solid rhythm section. I'm really excited about those musicians. Then we have on the marimba and the vibraphone, Chen Chen Lu. She's incredible, and she also works a lot with Richie Goods. So they have a synergy and a lock that I'm looking forward to them bringing to the project. Then on percussion, we'll have Jacqueline Acevedo, who is incredible. I have performed with her live before, but I'm excited to record with her finally. And in the horn section, we have Steve Turre on trombone and shells, and my girl Chelsea Barrett's on the saxophone. So that is the full band that's going to be recording, although I do have a couple of surprise special guests that'll be taking solos on a couple of songs, and you'll have to wait to find out who those people are. In the last video, I spoke to the genuine magic of this project and how everything has just seamlessly fallen into place as was needed for the project to advance. And I'm really happy to report that that same magic has continued. I had needed additional funding, and I actually forgot that I had applied for a second grant for this project. And I found out that I did receive the New York State Council on the Arts Support for Artists grant, which gives me the additional funding that I need to really finish the recording part of this process as well, which means that I can hire the help that I need of a producer. And so now I have somebody producing this album that is not me, so I can just focus on singing and playing my crystal bowls and some of the other instruments and stuff that I'll be playing. And I'm thrilled to be recording with the producer, Scott Jacoby. He is an incredible, incredible producer, and I'm honored that he would take on this project. So we've got a producer, we've got a band. Scott is also bringing on engineer and mastering people that he's used to working with, so I don't have to worry about those things because that's not really my area of expertise. My real gift is the vision for the project, performing the music and composing the music, and making sure that the audience feels welcome and like a part of the whole thing. That's my gift. So I'm excited to have people bring their gifts to help support the areas that I really lack. I wanted to share with you some of the visuals for the album. I really envision the music as I sing and as I compose. And for this particular suite, it's really more like 4 concertos. And so as I've been working on the composing aspect, I have created these visual guides, which I will show you a close up on so that I can sort of talk you through each and every one of them. The first one that I want to introduce you to is From the Earth. This will be the first concerto in the album. And in this visual, you can see that some of the sounds are more earthy. You've got the marimba instead of the vibraphone on this track. We're gonna have didgeridoo added on. We're gonna have more bass, low-end sounds. I will also be playing, which is not pictured here, my crystal bowls, because the crystals come from the earth and they just add a layer of sound and a texture that is really beautiful for this element. The colors are really the colors that I see as I'm singing and have been composing this segment of the music. Very earthy tones, browns, greens, a little bit of yellows, and like that. Then the second concerto in the order of this suite that you'll get to hear when the album comes out is From the Sky, which is the atmosphere. The atmosphere, I've really been seeing light, bright pastels the pinks and blues of a beautiful sunset, but also the texture of the clouds. You'll see the tree has that similar texture that's pictured here, as well as this beautiful woman, and the texture of her afro hair has that similar, just like soft and enveloping texture. And so I really wanted the sound for this to be lush and airy. So we're going to focus more on higher pitch tones, flute, possibly bringing harp in. This will definitely have vibraphone instead of marimba. And these are the colors and the textures that I'm embodying as I'm performing the From the Sky concerto. After From the Sky, the third concerto that you'll be introduced to is From the Sea, which is the hydrosphere. And the hydrosphere is Puerto Rico, and it's really vibrant. The woman that I interviewed for this segment was so delightful and so full of joy that I wanted to bring the bright colors. And I was inspired by things like the colors of the conch shells, because my dad is going to play the conch shells on several of the tracks that are in this concerto. The colors of the sea stars and the turtle shells, these bright orange and coral colors, the blues of the sea. And so that's what I envision for this segment of the project. This will feature Jacqueline on percussion, because you cannot have Latin jazz without percussion. And yes, this segment is all Latin jazz. One of the songs is completely in Spanish. Another one of the songs is in English and in Spanish. And so I wanted to honor the fact that while Puerto Rico is a part of the United States, that the language in Puerto Rico is Spanish. So we did the interview for the woman who is the activist that'll be featured on this segment in Spanish, and she's speaking in Spanish. And so as I started to compose the music, I wanted to also sing in Spanish. And I did study Spanish for years. I can speak basic Spanish. I'm not fluent, but it wasn't a huge leap for me to be able to sing in Spanish. I've done it many, many times before. And we're going to also be able to open this up for more people to feel included and understand this project. So that is From the Sea. And then the last concerto in the suite is From the Ice, which is the cryosphere. And for this one, I really wanted to lean into the cold of the ice. Throughout this whole process, I have spent a lot of time outside, and I have even written a lot of these songs while being outside, coming up with melodies or parts for the marimba or parts for the horns, based off of sitting outside and like hearing the birds chirp, or patterns in the wind blowing, or the animals running about. And so for the ice, it is cold here in New York. We haven't had like super cold weather, but enough that the earth, when you sit on the earth, it is hard, it is frozen. And just sitting with the earth and feeling that cold texture, the colors that came to me were these really dark, deep blues and grays and even black. And for this one, we're gonna lean more into electronic sounds. Chelsea will switch from the saxophone to the iwi, which is an electronic wind instrument, to add electronic tones to this one. Richie will not be playing acoustic bass on this one, but he'll be playing electric bass for this one. This is also the most contemporary sounding jazz on the album, where the first two are a bit more traditional jazz and the third one is Latin jazz. So in addition to being taken on a journey of environments, you're also getting to go on a journey through different styles of jazz. So these are the 4 concertos of From the Earth, and I'm really proud to welcome you to them. The other exciting development is that I also now have a manager, somebody that can help me with logistics, somebody that can help me just manage my career, help me grow my career, help mentor me, and just really take this to the next level, help book gigs. We are very excited to start booking a robust tour for this, and we have also a publicist. Lydia Liebman is going to do PR for the album, and we have a release date for the album. The album will drop on July 19th, which I know seems like a really long way away. However, there are a couple of opportunities for you to be able to come and listen to this album before the album drops. The first one is coming up really soon. We will be at the Bedford Hills Community House in Bedford, New York on January 23rd, and we're going to be doing an all-day rehearsal with the band of this music. And at the end of the day, we are going to do a full run-through of the suite that is going to be free and open to the public. I'll put a link below. If you are in the Bedford area, you can sign up and register for a ticket. You do have to register, but it is free. And I'm so excited to get this in front of an audience. And so you'll be able to hear the music live before it's even recorded. And then we will head up to Rhinebeck, where we will record this album on January 24th and 25th at the Clubhouse. Your second chance to hear this is that in April, we don't have 100% of a date yet, but I will confirm a date, I promise, as soon as I can. But it will be in April. We're gonna do a release party in ArtsWestchester's home building in White Plains, New York. And this will not only be a listening party where you will be able to hear the full album before it drops in July, you will also be able to really dig into some of the visuals for this project. I have been curating images, not just these images that I've created, which will be blown up and you'll be able to really see them in a different manner, but images of all 4 communities that I have interviewed throughout this project. You'll be able to see some of the people that I've talked to, some of the communities that I've engaged with, and what their experience is with climate change firsthand. You'll see artwork from kids from that community and so on and so forth. And I am still trying to find a way to get the brilliant Shaniqua Benitez to be able to create some paintings to be a part of this exhibit and future exhibits of this as well. As we start to book out a promotional tour for the album, I'm really thinking about a fully immersive experience, not just what the music is going to sound like, but the visuals. We're creating visuals to be projected on a screen behind the stage, which would play during the concert, and also bringing the artworks that I will curate for the listening party at ArtsWestchester, being able to hang those in any lobbies of concert halls or have a pop-up tent if it's a festival or an outdoor situation where people can really engage with the visuals for the album, and creating QR codes that people can engage deeper and connect with these communities and support these communities and learn from these communities, because they are all teaching communities, and you can learn about ways to impact your own environment as well as theirs. So it's not just about hearing this music and being inspired, it's about also getting people to take action, which I think is really important. That is my quick recap for you. I am going to get back to finishing writing the score. While I have finished composing all of the music, I have yet to finish notating every instrument's part for every song. So that is a huge task. As always, the struggle and the challenge has been childcare. I am down to the wire. We record in 3 weeks. My son doesn't have school this week. I'm so grateful to my mom for stepping in and helping out, for my husband squeezing in an hour here and there around his work schedule where he can, so that I can be here in the studio finishing up this project. The help is there when I need it, and I'm really, truly grateful, and I'm grateful to all of you for coming on this journey with me. Until next time, the next video update should contain some behind the scenes footage from our live show at the Bedford Hills Community House. And if I can find someone to take video and pictures at the recording studio over the 2 days that we're there, I can share some of that as well. Have a wonderful year. Happy 2024.